She tells him, ooh, love, no one's ever gonna hurt you, love. I'm gonna give you all of my love. Nobody matters like you.
Hey guys, Mosa here, and today I'm bringing you my Week 4 NFL predictions. Now, I'm sorry that I've not been able to upload these predictions on YouTube. I've done that on Instagram instead, so that you guys know what I predict each week. Now, also the reason why I did that is mostly because the files always got corrupted for some reason. So instead I decided to post them on Instagram so you guys could see my predictions of the week. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Now, let's kick it off with Thursday Night Football, and I believe the Jacksonville Jaguars will lose to the Cincinnati Bengals 23-17. I have been honestly unimpressed by Trevor Lawrence. 7 interceptions in his first 3 games and 3 losses for the Jaguars. Now, I know that this team is terrible. I know it is. And that's the reason I'm also giving them a loss to the Bengals. The Bengals are a lot better than the Jacksonville Jaguars. Although this game, I think that Trevor Lawrence would at least give them a fight so that they can at least have a chance to possibly win this game. Although I am giving the game to Cincinnati. Now, on Sunday, we got the Tennessee Titans taking on the New York Jets. And I'm going to go with Tennessee winning at 35-3. The Jets have just been horrible. And their 26-0 loss to the Broncos last week. I just say there's no way that the Jets are beating the Titans. The Titans have been on a roll and honestly have been very good. And I expect the Titans to continue their winning streak with a win over New York. And poor Zach Wilson, who will have to suffer this year and possibly next year with this team. Now, on to the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. And honestly, I'm going to say this is a 24-10 win for the Chiefs. The Chiefs have been honestly going on a downgrade. They are starting off the season 1-2. That is weird for me. But I think they'll go back to being even with 2-2 record, as they will defeat the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't think that Jalen Hurts has enough to actually beat the Kansas City Chiefs, and I think Patrick Mahomes and that offense will do their jobs in order to win this Sunday. Up next, we got the Carolina Panthers taking on the Dallas Cowboys. And I have the Panthers winning this 17-14. Honestly, Dallas has been doing very well this year. They've been doing well. But I do believe that this division is still going to be up for grabs, because I think that the Washington football team and possibly the New York Giants, who knows, but either them or the Philadelphia Eagles all have a chance still, as I do believe that's how this division will be. But the Panthers have been doing very well this season, and I expect them to continue this. And this is going to be the make it or break it game for Sam Darnold, whether he's a good or bad quarterback, because he's been on a 3-game winning streak, but some of those teams haven't been that good. So maybe this time he can prove that he is one of the best quarterbacks in this league and the right one for Carolina. Now, on to the New York Giants taking on the New Orleans Saints, and the Saints will win this 17-7. Honestly, the Giants have not been doing well at all. And I think that Jameis Winston, I think he's inconsistent. But I think that still, Jameis Winston could lead them to a win over the Giants. And honestly, if he doesn't, better get ready, because it's going to be either Taysom Hill or Ian Book taking over the starting role. Most likely, it's going to be Taysom Hill who takes the role over for Winston. But the future would either be in between him or Ian Book. But for now, I have them winning over the Giants. Now, on to the Cleveland Browns taking on the Minnesota Vikings. And I got the Browns winning it 26-14. Honestly, Minnesota has done very well for a team who's nearly gotten the win over Arizona and got the win over Seattle. But still, this is still a tough schedule for the Minnesota Vikings. And this game is going to prove it, as the Browns will definitely take the lead and keep it during the entire game. I don't think that this Cleveland Brown defense will allow Kirk Cousins to be a good quarterback. And I believe 100% that Baker Mayfield and that offense will be scoring many times in this game to give the Browns a ginormous lead. Now, on to the Detroit Lions taking on the Chicago Bears. And I got the Bears winning at 21-17. Now, honestly, Detroit has been doing alright for a team that nearly beat the Baltimore Ravens. But regardless of that, I think that the Detroit Lions will have issues with the Bears, and Justin Fields will get his first career win over the Detroit Lions. And honestly, both teams are bad, so it's going to be a toss-up, basically. But I think that the losing streak for the Detroit Lions will continue. Now, on to the Houston Texans taking on the Buffalo Bills. And the Bills will destroy the Texans 36-10. There's no way Davis Mills, or even if it was Tyrod Taylor, they could beat the Bills. There's no way. That Buffalo defense is too tough for the Houston Texans. And that Buffalo offense will dismantle that Houston defense. But anyways, anything could happen, to be honest. But I just see these two teams against each other, and I say there's no way Buffalo's losing this. They're too good, and the Texans are rebuilding. Now, on to the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Miami Dolphins. And I think the Dolphins will give them another L. This time it'll be a 13-23 victory for the Miami Dolphins. I think that the Dolphins still could have a chance they lose. Brett Hundley is possibly going to be the starting quarterback. But I think that even if Tua was there, I think Tua or Brett Hundley will get the win over Indianapolis. Even though they got Carson Wentz, even though they got a good offensive line, even though they got an all-right running back and some all-right receivers, I think that defense will not be able to stop the Miami offense. Even though they got Darius Leonard and all those guys, I still think that they have issues on that offense and defense, and I think that this game will be a win for Miami. Now, on to the Washington football team taking on the Atlanta Falcons, and the Falcons will lose this 25-17. I think that the Atlanta Falcons, honestly, even though they got a decent offense with Matt Ryan, Kyle Pitts, Calvin Ridley, and all those guys on offense, their defense is just not going to be there when Washington's going to be there. And Washington's just going to be smoking them. I think, honestly, for a backup quarterback, Taylor Heineke is a good guy to have as a backup quarterback. I mean, he's done very consistently good as the backup for Ryan Fitzpatrick. But for right now, I think that the Washington football team will 100% get the win over the Atlanta Falcons. Now, on to the Seattle Seahawks taking on the San Francisco 49ers. And honestly, I'm going to say Seattle loses this game 25-23. Honestly, I am tired of this team. I am tired of Seattle. I may be a fan of theirs, but I am sick and tired of this defense sucking. And honestly, it will suck against the 49ers. And that is the reason why we'll lose this game. The same reason why we lost against Tennessee, and the same reason why we lost to Minnesota. The defense allowed too many points. Russell Wilson isn't the entire team. So honestly, if Seattle wants to win, they got to stop Jimmy Garoppolo, Deebo Samuels, and all those other guys on offense in San Francisco. Now, on to the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Los Angeles Rams. This is the battle to see who is the number one team in the NFC West. And I'm going to say that's LA. 27-24. It's going to be a close matchup. But I do think the Rams can get the win. Matthew Stafford has been very good for the Los Angeles Rams. They just beat Tom Brady. Even though they just beat Tom Brady, I think that they could still end up taking a win over Arizona. Arizona could win this too. Don't get me wrong. They could. But I'm still thinking that, oh my God, Los Angeles is too good. They're too good. So I think that they're going to win, even though the defenses of either team isn't going to be there. I think their offenses, especially the one of the Los Angeles Rams, is just better than the other. Now, on to the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Green Bay Packers, and the Packers win it 34-8. Honestly, Pittsburgh has been doing terribly on defense without TJ Watt, and if TJ Watt doesn't play, well, that's sayonara for Pittsburgh, because apparently that's the only way they can stop opposing offenses. And even with TJ Watt, I think that offense of the Green Bay Packers could not be stopped by that Pittsburgh defense. And then we get to the offense of the Pittsburgh Steelers. You drop too many passes. All those receivers, Deontay Johnson, Juju Smith-Schuster, Chase Claypool, all of you drop too many balls. And the running backs, honestly, you should use Najee Harris more, because he's he's the running back that you should be giving carries to. And honestly, if you don't do that, you're going to be losing in heavily against the Green Bay Packers. Now, on to the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Denver Broncos. Now, Denver has been on a winning streak, but it ends on Sunday. And that is because they will lose 35-17 to the Baltimore Ravens. And honestly, the Ravens have been doing alright for a team who nearly lost to the Detroit Lions. But I think that the Baltimore Ravens will 100% be able to defeat the Denver Broncos. But that is also something that we have to see, because Denver has been doing all right with Teddy Bridgewater, and Teddy Bridgewater could do something to keep them in the game. But honestly, knowing how Baltimore could play against this Denver defense, I think that Denver is going to have a tough time against that Baltimore defense. Now, on to Sunday Night Football, which is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the New England Patriots. This is the matchup we've all been waiting for. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tom Brady returning to New England to face off against Mac Jones and the New England Patriots. Who will take the win here? And I think it's the Bucs, 38-6. Now, Brady has been on fire. So is that Bucs offense. But then the defense, even though they allowed too many points from the Atlanta Falcons, I still think against this New England Patriots offense, that defense is just going to shut down. And the recent signing of Richard Sherman, he may not be the same cornerback he was before. He's still a decent cornerback. Because I'm going to say this, even though he won't play because he most likely will be a backup, but that still doesn't change the fact that they still have that defense from Super Bowl 55. And that defense will be able to stop the New England Patriots. Now, on to Monday Night Football between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, this will be a Chargers win, 28-24. I think that the Raiders will have issues in Los Angeles, even though they are expected to have the more fans in Los Angeles. As we all know, Raider Nation lives in Los Angeles basically, and Oakland. But I think that the Los Angeles Chargers still don't have their fan base there. They still don't have a fan base since they left San Diego. But this doesn't mean that Justin Herbert won't light it up. I do 100% believe that Justin Herbert and that offense will light it up for the Los Angeles Chargers, even though the defense of the Chargers will be giving up a buttload of points. Now, that was it for this video. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Tweet me any video ideas. Also, tell me down in the comments below, who do you think's going to win tonight, on Sunday, and on Monday? Tell me down in the comments below. Now, like this video if you liked it, subscribe, and hit the notification if you want more videos. And I'll see you guys next time.